Welcome
crazy.
to Nephew and Uncle Basketball Banter. So, LeBron James, he goes to the Philadelphia 76ers, and I'll start, Uncle Dave, where I give my assessment here. I think it's a high risk, high reward move. The 76ers have not won in 43 years. So if you're able to
Yep.
deliver a championship there, that definitely does make you look at him in a different light. That would have been then the fourth championship with a fourth different franchise. So that would definitely be a nice feather in his cap if he's able to achieve that. The safe play for him would have been if he would have went to the Miami Heat or the Cleveland Cavaliers, being that he already won titles for those teams. Even if you were, let's say, a first round exit for either of those franchises for the next 2 years that he's going to play, they still were going to love and embrace you because of what you did in the past for them. With the 76ers, though, there's no connection there whatsoever. If you don't deliver and you don't win a championship, then they're going to be on your case because they're expecting to win now. If he doesn't, it's going to get ugly, and he's definitely going to get the blame for it. There's no question. Even though Joel Embiid's been there and you added Jaylen Brown, LeBron is definitely going to be the guy that people are going to point the finger at. I'm kind of shocked in a way, but I'm not shocked in others, though, because it does make sense. The talent that's on that team, it gives him the ability to take nights off if he wants to offensively. I don't know how it's going to work out with Joel Embiid, though, down on the block, and LeBron being how he likes to have a stretch five. Does that mean then Joel Embiid is basically a spot-up shooter? I don't really see him playing that way, even though he's got the ability to do that. Chris Bosh was much more versatile as far as athleticism than Joel Embiid. I could definitely see them trading Joel Embiid and trying to maybe round out the rest of the roster. It's going to be interesting. You have Jaylen Brown, who's a former Finals MVP. I mean, someone's going to be the odd man out here, too, because Tyrese Maxey, we've talked about him. What a terrific young player he is. And you
Yep.
had just BJ Edgecombe, who he's definitely going to be in the top 5 rookies out of last year's class. But I will say the one reason I will be rooting for them is because this is not a team that's going to be driven by analytics. This is definitely not wired that way. So I will be rooting for them in that regard. But what do you make of this with LeBron James going to the 76ers?
Well, there's so many levels to it. For one, it's really exciting for the league. It's good for the league. It's good to see the Sixers be relevant because, first of all, Embiid's a dog. He's always been a dog. He's a talented dog. But even back at the Olympics, this is the one problem they got to answer. All the guys would work out daily, and supposedly Embiid wasn't one of the guys that would join him to work out, and supposedly LeBron and him disagreed over the fact that you're supposed to work on your game every day. And I'm not a LeBron fan, but the one thing you could say about him is he is a historian of the game, and that's why he chose the Sixers. He knows if he wins there, it's a big splash. If he goes to San Antonio and plays power forward, which would have been really the smartest thing, play the four man, which he should be doing in Philadelphia, by the way, playing the four, no more perimeter. If he's serious about winning, he'll be playing in the high post and he'll be not bringing the
How
ball
the
up.
Lakers were using him at the end of last year. That's how he'll play.
That's how he should play. But the problem is what is Embiid going to give you? I mean, Embiid is just a stubborn guy. I mean, he might, people think a guy that's laid back necessarily isn't stubborn, but he's stubborn because he doesn't want to have to work. So this could be an issue. It's going to be exciting. They're definitely a top 2 or 3 team in the East. And if they got some pieces there and if they could get, even if they don't get a lot out of Embiid, if they could get something out of the kid from UCLA and they get something out of Wade, if you remember, every center in the history of LeBron's career always winds up in the left corner. Every center, every big guy he plays with is in the left corner shooting jump shots. So, and Embiid can't do that. So he'd have to be in the short corner. He's not doing that. The problem with Embiid is he just doesn't move his feet laterally anymore. People talk all they want about shot blocker, but they'd have been better off hanging on to a guy like a Drummond. But obviously they had to get him out of there. But at the same time, like this is a team that has a ton of fun. I think you got to realize that Maxey and Brown are the guys.
Right.
And how quickly they do that. I don't think LeBron's a willing passer. That's his best trait. Sometimes in big spots he's been criticized for that, but he is a willing passer. So he's not a pig. He's never been a pig. So the thing is, I think that he could fit in. I think if it was Kobe doing it, I don't think it would work. But since it's LeBron, he wants to pass. He'd be fine with it. So I got to give LeBron credit for that. Like I said, he knows history, so he figures if I can win my 5th with the Sixers, that fan base is nuts. There has been some pushback, though, because he's not living in Philly. He's going to stay living in New York.
That's been circulating, yeah, with him
And a
not.
lot of pushback with that. And a lot of the Philly media are very unhappy. They don't want their team to be disliked because of this man. And so they assume they'll be disliked. I don't think he'll be disliked in these last 2 years if he takes the backseat role. If he makes everything about himself, which he has done on occasion, it could be something that would be a negative on him. But I think it's great. It's just so good for the league.
Because plus also you have him going from now the West to the East too, so you switch the conference.
It's an easier route. Even though the Knicks were there, the route in the West is much harder. Think about it, the T-Wolves and the Nuggets didn't even get to the conference finals. I mean, so
I know, and they're so talented.
and when you're talking about that, the West is just ridiculous. I mean, you still have so much out there. The East has good talent too. The Pacers will be back. Detroit's got to make a decision on what they do with the big fella. The Knicks, obviously, the Celtics just hamstrung themselves. I can't believe this is Brad Stevens' plan all along. I don't know. It's crazy. So rumors that Curry was unhappy and maybe going to the Celtics, but that's not happening. So it's just a lot of, I just can't imagine helping your rival, the Sixers, after they just beat you.
What do you make of the trade with Jaylen Brown? People are saying that the Celtics got fleeced.
They didn't get fleeced. If you don't want to give the guy $70 million like the Mavericks did with Luka, you got to get something for him.
The 76ers are tasked now with re-signing him.
In 2 years, that's right. So they don't want $70 million. They didn't think he was a $70 million player. I personally think he is, if there is such a thing, which I don't think there is. He's a two-way player. I would have signed him. I have no problem. And I hate to say this as a diehard Duke fan, the one guy is better than the other guy. I know Tatum's got higher upside, but I'm telling you, Brown plays every day, doesn't get hurt. Tatum, one of my favorite players. But who'd you get rid of? You get rid of the wrong guy. I mean, I wouldn't get rid of either of them. What's this thought that you have to break something up? You were up 3-1 with the worst 2-seed roster I've ever seen in my life, and I've been watching since '77. So, what are you doing letting that guy walk out the door? And you get back Paul George, but it comes down to you didn't want to pay him. I just think I would have tried to get more than Paul George. I would have tried to get picks because that's how you stock the cupboard, especially the way the game is played these days. You can stock the cupboard with a 15th to like the 30th pick. You could still get it. Like this year, there was plenty of talent in 2 rounds. So, I just think it's a bad move. But then again, Brad Stevens must not have wanted to pay 70. There's probably something behind the scenes that we'll hear about later. Was another reason in there. But as far as play on the floor, there's no way I let Jaylen Brown walk out the door. And like I said, diehard Duke fan, but I think if you're going to make one of them go, I'm letting the guy go who's hurt all the time.
He's one of the best two-way players in the NBA.
He is, and to me, that's valuable, but I guess that's not the sexy thing anymore. And I know Brown is not. He's more of a meat and potato guy. He's not fancy, whereas Tatum's the thoroughbred. Tatum's the Porsche. Brown's the Oldsmobile, but Brown gets there. Brown gets it done. You can win with an Oldsmobile. So that's my problem with it all. I love Brown. I mean, what he did this year was incredible. I don't see why you don't run it back with those 3 guys and fill in a little better. You went out and got Robinson. If you kept those 3 guys and signed Robinson, you would have been all right.
Yeah.
You kept those 3 guys on Robinson. You go out and you try to get a DeRozan who was released by the freaking Kings. And just the rumor is he took a 2-year deal for $15 million. Jesus Christ, you could do that. Now what are you talking about? I mean, Jesus God. I mean, I just don't get it. I know they didn't want to give up a couple of those young players off that bench, but Jesus Lord, you got to get more back. It just must come down to the $70 million.
What do you make of the rumor that they didn't want to move off Baylor Shireman and Luka Garza? That's why the
guys, yeah. Luka Garza was great in the regular season, but you saw it in the again. I've never seen a league in my life that's more different, especially now. It didn't used to be. The last 5 years, NBA playoffs and regular season not even the same sport. The officials aren't even nearly the same. The players aren't nearly the same. The effort isn't nearly the same. It's just it's like it's almost a waste to play this 82-game season because it's not like that.
Right. That's why you see guys getting hurt in the postseason now.
Exactly. And every year it's worse because it's all of a sudden you think you're going to turn it on and there's no defense in the regular season. Let's be honest. I mean, there's guys getting 50 every night. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, we're a basketball show. We've even talked about the NBA regular season. It's a difficult watch. We talk about college primarily during the winter and the fall because it's just it's just a better product to watch than the NBA regular season games.
It is. It's awful. I still watch it because there's certain coaches I like to pick up different things, and I am liking where the game is going, just not from the effort level on defense. I am liking where the game is going in some ways offensively.
Well, it's requiring more depth and more flexibility, I think, now.
Yeah, not all the threes. I am liking picking up the full court, although that's mostly in the postseason, but we're still seeing such a gap between the teams that play hard every night can still win 50 games, but in the playoffs, you need more than just playing hard every night. And so you see the guys like Joe Mazzulla getting 60 wins practically out of blood from a stone, which was an incredible coaching job. But during the playoffs, they're locking those guys off. Sixers weren't even a good team, and they came back 3-1. And to be honest with you, Celtics are really fortunate to be up 3-1 because Tatum hits a Hail Mary shot from the right wing. Or else they don't even win that game. It could have been 2-2 or down 3-1 for Christ's sake. I mean, so let's be honest. The Celtics, like I said, they overachieved all year long. And I just can't believe you let go of Brown for that little.
I think one of the other reasons they did it too is because you don't have to have this question now of whose team is it? Is it Jason Tatum's team or Jaylen Brown's team?
Shit.
I
gotta tell you something. In 2004, everybody goes, "Well, who's the point guard, Schmidt or Foley?" I said, "I don't give a shit. Whoever has the ball, the other one run."
Right.
One day they're like, "Well, who is it?" I said, "Whichever one of you doesn't get it, run the right side." It's not that hard. It doesn't matter, especially in today's NBA. You see centers, Jokic brings the ball up. Yeah. You don't need that. I mean, I would like to see us get more back to some point guards, but if you got two good guards, just let them go. And then we had Chicarillo, Foley, and Schmidt. I mean, just let the ball go. Just go, push. It doesn't matter. You teach guys to fill in spots. There's so many drills you can do. These guys are pros. I'm sure.
Especially with the tempo of the game now, everybody's going to get enough touches and enough shots. So it's going to happen now.
That's insane. I just can't. That can't be an excuse. You tell them to work it out. You get them in a room. You tell them, listen, fuck faces. You're both making like $50 million a year. Fucking figure it out.
Right, exactly.
Shut the fuck up. When is this shit where we cater to everybody? We cater to fat fucks like James Harden and people like that. Tell them to shut the fuck up and let's move on here. It's just ridiculous.
Plus, anyone who wins an NBA championship, if you're at all a part of the rotation, you get credit. Everybody remembers the 90s Bulls. It's the same thing with the Lakers and the Celtics. It's not just Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Everybody remembers the fourth and fifth men on those teams.
Not to mention, Brown is a 3-level scorer. He's actually a 4th-level scorer. People talk about 3-level scorers. He can post you up, too. He's a 4th-level scorer. He can get to the rack from the block, but he can also post you on the block. He can also score in the mid-range. He can score from 3. He's the 4th-level scorer. And you know what? He gets his shoulders square. He's one of the strongest guys in the league, and he doesn't settle, whereas Tatum settles too much. Now, I know Tatum is probably more talented, but I'm not letting go of either one of them unless you give me a boatload. Now, again, there must be something else going on there, or it's just flat out, I don't want to give you $70 million. But why not play it out until that time comes? Why not take one more run? You have 2 more years with Tatum and Brown there. Why not play that out?
Yeah, I definitely would have liked to have seen it, especially with Tatum being back next year fully healthy for a whole season.
Go get Robin. You had Robinson. You still got Derek White. Like, go make that run. Supposedly also Drew Holiday is looking at the Sixers too right now. So, I mean, there's my man Dennis Johnson going to go win a 3rd title with a 3rd team. Nobody understands the value. I swear to God, I used to think that GMs are pretty smart. Like I said, we talked about it all year. This is some of the worst GM I've ever seen in my life. Brad Stevens, who has a great reputation, but you can be wrong. Greg Popovich still has the worst 22 seconds of coaching in NBA history in my book. So, and he's got a lot of titles, but you can still screw up. We've all been there. So bottom line is, this guy, I don't think he made a good deal. Like I said, it's just must be $70 million, but why not take another run at it and let him go in 2 years? Why not?
If you're looking at it from a pro Celtics perspective, you're going to say, all right, the picks that they got, maybe they'll be able to turn that into something as far as they can trade those and maybe get
more picks than that. I'm happy that Giannis is in Miami. It's good when Miami's relevant, but Miami has no backcourt, so they're going to have problems too. Now you're going to have to watch the spacing of Bam and Giannis and see who's going to hit the 3. I think Bam is a better shooter, so he'll have to be the one passing from the high post or the top of the key, but the East is going to be fun. It's going to be a fun season again, but then again, it's the load management for me and the no defense that ruins it, and I don't know how they fix it.
The Miami Heat acquiring Giannis Antetokounmpo, what do you make of this deal that the Miami Heat were able to pull off? Obviously, they were hoping to land LeBron. The Heat are kind of like in limbo, though. I think you have a situation there where what's the rest of the roster going to look like? Right now, the Celtics, the 76ers, and the Knicks are better than them, I would say, for sure.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe even the Raptors is another.
Well, if you look at that Heat roster right now, let's check it out here.
I mean, you got Davion Mitchell and Andrew Wiggins. I mean,
I do like Davion Mitchell. I think that Mitchell is very underrated. I think that Wiggins is very underrated. People have all of a sudden forgot they do have Hardaway. I think he give you some nice peaches. Jovic is the guy that I don't know. I thought he'd give you more. They got the old Duke guy there. Trevor Keels is just sitting there, but they pick up Bobby Portis too. Miami's got some pieces. They got to get a point guard. I'm thinking Wiggins might be able to handle some of the point responsibilities because he's very unselfish. Tim Hardaway Jr. is not the unselfish guy. I think he'd rather be shooting. I will say that they did get a good draft pick. They do have Donaldson, who's a very good player. rookie point guard. Very, 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 very nice player in college. Again, from the University of Miami. He's very good. I think he might be able to get some minutes here. I think they have an interesting roster. I think that they have an excellent coaching staff. Obviously, I think there's a million ways to play with this group. I would like to see them have another guard, but we got to see. We got to see what kind of cap level they have. They got the kid Conwell from Louisville. Is going to be a good defender in the league. He's tough. He's built like a brick shit house. They're going to be fine with that. However, you still got to have point guards. You saw that's the least amount of point guards I've ever seen in NBA history this year. Hopefully, we'll get back to it.
You're gonna have some shooting on with this group right here. I think
Yeah,
that
well,
Giannis, you have another, let's say 2 or 3 prime years left of him. So the Heat, I think there's a window for them there, but it's going to be interesting to see how they play. Is Giannis going to be a primary ball handler for them? Or are they going to want to post him up and have Adebayo go out on the perimeter?
Well,
It's
this
going
is
to be
where
interesting
this
to see how
is
they
where
play.
Mitchell hurts you in that way. I love Mitchell, but he's not a great shooter. But Trey Donaldson can fill it up. He is an older rookie. He is 22. He's not an 18-year-old. I would say that Jovic is the guy I think that should be better than he is. He used to be better than this, and so like they're gonna have to fill it up with some other guys. But don't forget, there's also some other players out there. I think that Wiggins is a guy that does a lot of different things, and Portis is a very undervalued player in this league. So I think that between guys like Wiggins and Portis, who have both been a part of winning in their life and both care about winning, that they'll fill in. I think that they'll be a team that'll win ugly a lot of nights. I think in the regular season they'll be okay because Spoelstra will push. But if they can make something at the deadline for a guard who's maybe on an unhappy team, I can't believe we already have to talk about that. But the deadline in the NBA has become a thing over the years, even since the mid '80s, where the Lakers picked up guys at the last minute. Michael Thompson, '87. Just always guys that were available that you pick up at that deadline that change things. The Bulls would always add somebody, so it can be there. You got to see where you're at. I think like I said, find that unhappy guard somewhere. You never know what happens in Washington D.C. Who the hell knows what happens
You
with
have
Trae
to
Young?
pick up a guy maybe that's on his last legs that maybe has something left in the tank, like a Bradley Beal. I feel like a guy like
Yeah,
that
he's
you
still
bring
out
in.
there. Bradley Beal is still sitting there.
And just mentioned him, DeMar DeRozan. I haven't seen anything that confirms what you said about him being signed to the
Yeah,
76ers, but if that happens for them, I mean, obviously that helps. I think he helps any team that signs him. He's a walking bucket, that guy.
sure. I mean, and Nicholas Batum is still out there. You know, Biombo from the Spurs is still out there, although he looks like he's done. So again, like Tony Bradley's out there for the Celtics to pick up maybe. Bruce Brown is still out there for the Nuggets. He's just sitting there, unrestricted free agent. Again, he's probably seen his best days, though. He's not going to play the point for you. Who's out there is KCP is still out there.
Contavious
That's
Caldwell Pope.
that's a guy that's a guy I would pick up. Always been a winning player. Always been a guy that cared about winning. So there's some guys out there. Like I said, DeRozan is rumored to be out there and things of that nature, but there's still some guys who are sitting there who can play a little bit. So maybe, but then again, I don't know if I'd get Beal. Beal in Miami might be trouble.
I mean, what happened with the Phoenix Suns? That basically
Oh,
that clinched that it might be over for him with how badly that wound up going
I
down.
just don't understand why guys don't look in the mirror and realize that you're not the guy you were before injuries or in your prime, and get something out of yourself instead of still thinking that you're the same guy that was 26. You're not. You're not that guy anymore, and like try to get something before you win. Extend your career. If you want to get another big payday, win an NBA championship. Do something. I just don't understand what guys think about that. And many guys understand it, and they come around in every sport, but some guys just never get it. And Bradley Beal might be one of those guys. And I think Trae Young will be another one of those fucking guys.
Contavious Caldwell Pope, Uncle Dave, is expected to sign with the 76ers. That's
a great move. He played with LeBron before, didn't he?
Exactly, with the Lakers when they won the 2020 championship.
But there are some sneaky signings out here that I'd like to bring up a little bit here.
Kyle Anderson with the Raptors.
Yeah, that is going to be a good one. I would also like to say that there's some guys out here that have been disrespected, and then there's some guys that are on their last legs, even though they're young. I don't know why the hatred for DeAndre Ayton is so strong. This is 12.5 and 8 rebounds this year, never touching the ball. And this guy gets disrespected like he must be like they treat him like he's a terrorist or something.
He got signed to the Wizards.
Yep, he's on the Wizards. That's a good pickup. Now here's the other one that's sneaky for me. This is a guy that's so disappointing in his career is Marvin Bagley. So Marvin Bagley goes to play for the Nuggets. Now, Bagley has been a dog. Jay Billis even called him a dog his freshman year at Duke, and that was like a big controversy back in the day. But the one thing you have to know about Bagley, and he has been a dog, and I'll be the first to say that. I'm an honest Duke fan. You can't tell me he is not extremely skilled. So you put him around other extremely skilled players like the Nuggets are. This guy could be a sleeper for them. Now, I know in his career he's
You know what? It could be his version of like an Andrew Bogut type of arc.
exactly. And you could say, well, he's only 10-6 his whole career, but he's been 10-6 being a bum. Can you imagine if you were a little motivated? What happens then? Are you 15-10? Playing with Joker 15-10, it gives Aaron Gordon some blow. So I mean, think about that. Like there's some opportunities out there. I think that's like one of those hidden pickups that people don't probably appreciate enough. Like I said,
Maybe a better fit for them than like Valanciunas. He's going to be more athletic on the perimeter and everything. On pick and rolls, he'll be better.
sure.
So he'll be good for them for
So
that.
you have guys like Bruce Brown still out there. KCP, I still think is the man. DeMar DeRozan is one of my faves. Tony Bradley's out there for someone looking for some depth of some big, and that's really it. But there's talent out there. There's Ajbaji from the Brooklyn Nets is still sitting there. I didn't think he was a bad player. I thought he'd be a little better by now. I hoped he'd be a better player than this when he came out of school, but he has not developed. Both Antetokounmpo brothers, Alex and
Thanasis. Yep.
are just sitting out there.
The Tyus Jones got signed to the Nuggets.
Tyus Jones did get signed to Nuggets. Now that is there's a guy that
A 1 year deal.
Yeah, I don't know why people don't want more guys who just have assist to turnover ratios. Yeah, so if you look even more, there's some just Lou Dort goes to the Hawks, Drummond to the Knicks. I'd like to talk about that since we're in New York here. People, I agree with you. Once you lost Robinson, you have to go get a Band-Aid, and I give him credit for that. You did, Huck Porty's gone too.
Might have to get another Band-Aid, honestly.
Yeah, because here's the difference between Drummond and Robinson. I know the numbers look the same, and Drummond's been a better player in his career than Robinson. Here's the difference. Drummond is a stationary defender. Robinson's freakiness is that he can move his feet side to side.
No, he can cover guards on the perimeter, Mitchell Robinson.
Drummond is not switching out and covering side to side. So that's a big difference there. So we're going to have obviously Jalen Duren is still sitting out there.
He's not happy in Detroit, so he's
Draymond Green signed a 1-year deal. Jeff Green, 20 years he's been playing. I think it's time. James Harden declined the player option, but I guess we're still waiting on a couple of things here. Harkless is still out there. Mario Hezonja is still out there.
He signed with the Cavaliers.
Cavaliers. Joe Ingles is out there. Ingles looks like he's probably been done in his life.
Well, he's like a player coach now. It seems like on the sideline.
Yeah, he's like the guy for the Heat that played forever.
Nice pickup. I thought the 76ers had is Anthony Simons.
So there's been some good guys out there with some pickups. DeAndre Jordan still stays with the Pelicans, although they suck. I wish he'd get to a better team.
Tobias Harris getting signed to the Spurs.
Yes, that's a mistake. I'll tell you why. And I love Tobias, but they needed a power forward. They didn't need another finesse guy. This team needs bulk, and they went out and got finesse. How do you not go get bulk?
You're saying they would need like a David West type of guy.
They need an Oakley. They need an enforcer to protect the big fella. Yeah. They don't need another guy that wants to feather around.
Well, I think that's what they're thinking they got in the draft.
Yeah, well, you did get some good players in the draft.
What do you make of the Celtics signing Mike Conley and Mitchell Robinson with the trade?
Why Mike Conley? Why? I love Mike Conley, but if you're going to play 20 minutes a night, what are we doing? These teams are counting on this guy to be like the name he was. He's not that guy anymore. I have to tell you, who do you think is the biggest loser in the offseason so far? Besides the Celtics, at least got some other players back.
Warriors.
I think the Mavericks are awful. Like, what in the hell are they doing?
They aren't doing anything.
Like, what are they doing? Are they trying to tank? So you're going to Cooper Flag is going to get beat up. He's going to have his first 2 years in the league just losing like 60% of 80% of his fucking games. And that's how you ruin these fucking guys.
He probably lost more games last year than his whole life combined. He definitely did.
And next year they're going to get murdered. Look at this roster.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Because Clay is not Klay Thompson anymore.
No, but this is what we're talking about. Like, Brandon Williams, all right. You haven't re-signed him yet?
Derek Lively.
Yeah, like don't tell me they let him go too, did they?
No. He's still on the team.
I mean, like, Jesus Lord, like, what are you doing?
Adding a guy like Luke Kennard might have been good for them. He signed with the Suns.
Can you go get a guard? Do you understand that you need guards in this game? At the end of the game, guess who has the ball? The guard. I mean, like,
Plus, Kyrie Irving, you can't depend on him being available.
oh, at least they've held on to him. There's rumors all over the place, but look at this roster. I mean, okay, PJ Washington, I like. Clay's not Clay. Marcus Sasser. I mean, come on, dude, stop. I mean, good God, what the hell are we doing?
Them and the Warriors, they've not made any moves whatsoever.
I know the Warriors are strapped for cash, and I get it. I mean, all right, the draft was okay for the Mavs. I mean, good God! And then you're putting a rookie coach in there. Holy
Dusty May's going to have his hands full. That might be, honestly, that I wouldn't be surprised if they lost 45, 50 games next year in the West, especially.
I think they could lose 60. I mean, good God, like, what are we doing? The hell is going on down there?
I could see by Christmas time that thing being really south.
I mean, this could be a situation with the last guy from Michigan who went into the pros. 3/4 through the year, he's done. I mean, look at this roster. All right, I love the size. Great size, but who's bringing the ball up? You can't make this kid bring the ball up. Kyrie's by himself. Who's he throwing it to?
I understand why they moved off of Anthony Davis to probably give more room for Cooper Flag, but
go get some. You got look at this. I'm telling you, I'm looking at this roster right now. There's not a guard on the roster except Kyrie. I mean, like, what are we doing? And this is a guy who's hurt all the time. And
this is a team where a vet like DeMar DeRozan to come in would maybe calm the situation down.
But just go get me something. I mean,
Russell Westbrook's out there right now.
Yep, Russell Westbrook's still sitting there. God forbid we sign a guy who plays hard. God forbid we sign a guy who can
Russell Westbrook. He's apparently getting offered a boatload of money to go play in China and Israel.
I would do it. I do the Marbury route. But this stuff is just killing me. Like, what are we doing in this? The GM, like, what are you doing, bro?
Well, how about, I know he got signed to the Blazers. John Morant would have been maybe him and Kyrie together might have been rough.
Oh my God, yeah, that's not a good team party. Now, where's Valanciunas going? Is he?
Valanciunas is playing overseas now, Lithuania.
The Nugs got to re-sign Peyton Watson. If they don't re-sign that guy, they're done. Because at the end of last year, it started to happen for him. Think about that. This guy's 24 years old, averaged 15 and 5, and he was hurt. Wait, oh my goodness. Yeah, Russell's still out there. I'm looking at the board right now. I just don't get it. Like, this is where, again, you could just see how different the GMs are. It's going to be a fun NBA season. But then again, I get ADD because 3 weeks in, college starts, and then I'm all over the place. You know, like, I'm trying to watch the Knicks and the Nets and do my homework and stuff.
But there's so many college games on every night. You can't watch everything.
No, then November 3rd comes, and then, like, I'm like, oh, forget it. College is in. I'm watching Stony Brook. I'm watching D3 on the freaking online.
Only if it's like a light college night and there's like a great NBA matchup on, will you turn that on and watch?
Dude, I watched a ton of D3 basketball. I watch Coach McSloy's team all the time. I watch St. Joe's all the time. I follow all those guys.
From the fall to basically until beyond New Year's even, you have so much basketball on every night. It's insane.
Oh, it's the best. I mean, people always say, well, you're going to retire soon. What do you want to do in retirement? I want to do college basketball podcast every day. I'm going to do it too because I watch. That's all I do anyway. I'm going to watch it. But to me, it's just the greatest thing. It makes my winter shorter also.
And there's nothing to do outside anyway, so it's very easy. Yeah.
It's going to be a fun, a really.
What do you make of the Blazers with the John Morant signing? I think that's a great pickup for them potentially. He didn't give up a whole lot.
They gave up nothing. You have to take the chance if you're the Blazers. Plus, the only thing I worry about the Blazers is you got these. You had a hell of a year last year and then you let your coach go.
Yeah, Thiago Splitter. That was terrible.
Not happy about that. And I thought the Blazers had a nice hominess to them last year. Like, that was a team you could root for. And I'm nervous now that they're going to get in there and they're going to ruin the European kid who had such a great year.
Denny Avdia.
Yeah, and then and I'm hoping, I'm praying that Dame is mature and says, "Hey guys, let's move the ball. Let's wait till we get the matchup we want. And let's swing it until we get into that gap, and be patient because now they got a bunch of guys who can get in there and get this done." I hate to say it, but if you think about this, let's see, what were they, the 7th seed last year?
Yeah, they were like on that 7th, 8th seed. Yeah.
So think about this. You're the 7, and now what did you add? Let's see, what did they add? So
Plus, Scoot Henderson wound up really turning it on last year. He wound up playing really
oh
well.
God, he was a steal. But then
Yeah.
again, there's always guys that in their second year. Look what Miller did for the freaking for the
I mean,
Hornets.
we talked about it actually. His rookie year, remember they sent him to the G League, the
Yeah, and that's
Blazers.
the right thing to do. Mickey
Yeah.
Mantle went down too. Look at this team right here. This team is scary here. So, John Morant, his problem is he's such, I hate to say this, he's a dick. I mean, you got Lillard, Morant, Holiday's going to be gone, I'm sure. Scoot, Donovan Clingan had an excellent year. I mean, good God, Benny. I mean, that's a team right there. You could definitely be good with this team. It's just a matter of
Shaden Sharp is talented.
yeah. I mean, so you got Rob Williams to back up some center spots there. I mean,
Donovan Clingan's developing still.
yeah. I mean, there's talent here. I mean, good God. I mean, like, what can you say? I mean, Scoot's had a hell of a year. I mean, this could be a fun team to watch. I'll be rooting for them. I love the uniforms. The arena always looks nice on TV. Obviously, I've never been. I think some teams that are going to step back here. I think this Houston thing's going to blow up. I just don't. And they're going to lose a good coach. Blame the coach.
With like Kevin Durant, are they like that's
I don't know what's happening. The guy didn't even go to the playoff games.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't know because right now with the team that they have, that's not a contender at all. That's nowhere near close.
Steven Adams can't stay healthy, and I love him. He's one of my favorite.
If I were them, I would trade Kevin Durant. I don't know if he's got a no trade clause.
Exactly. Get rid of him and restock.
I would absolutely trade him away.
Yep, absolutely.
What are you doing? I would start that thing over and blow the whole thing up.
Yeah, because this guy, there's obviously some deep-seated issues in there. You got this great coach. I mean, if you got a bunch of young guys for KD, Udoka would get them to like 45 wins. Now you say, what the hell does that do for you? Get you in the 8-9 game. Yeah, but it'll be a fun team to watch. You'll know they'll give effort, and it won't be a bitch fest like it is with KD in there.
Yeah.
I mean, Şengün showed in the playoffs that he's not good. Reed Shepherd's just not ready yet.
Well, you talked about who's had terrible off seasons. I said the Warriors, you said the Mavericks. I agree with you on that. You got to add, I think, the Houston Rockets into that equation as well. I mean, what's going on with that?
Oh my God!
Talk about being in limbo. Like I said, I would totally say like we're totally blowing the whole thing up because that's not a contender next year.
They put their eggs in a basket. Rumor has they just re-signed Draymond for 1 year, but that's not going to do well either because then he's going to bitch during the year that he's only on a 1 year deal. They got Porzingis still, but Jesus Christ, does he suck? Moody's got to be healthy for them. I will say that the draft pick of Lundenborg is a really good pick. I knew that he was a man, and he is a man. That's going to be good.
That's the one thing that might help them because they can't develop any players. They've not been able to do that.
Lundenborg he's a different cat because he's legitimate 6'9". He's a man already.
And he's 24. He's 24, right? Correct. Yeah.
So, and they miss his spot. That is a guy who could play some 4 for you, or even if you want to go small, which I'm sure they will at one point. Because that's all they do, and you can, they'll do some things, but again, you got to develop guys, and this has been, can we get away from Brandon Podziemski, please? I mean, can we move on? I mean, we're gonna force this story of a guy who looks like a fucking lacrosse player running around out there and go, this is great. No, it isn't. It's a nice story to win you 45 games, and you have no chance. You have Steph Curry maybe for another 1 or 2 years before this shit breaks down. He's 38. And what are you going to do? You're not going to push it out of him? Jimmy Butler making 56 is criminal.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler.
He's not worth that.
Hasn't played more than 50 games in 10 years. The playoff Jimmy's a fucking myth. Look at some of Jimmy's playoff games. They suck. And Moses Moody, I mean, you got to get more out of this guy. But again, Brandon Podziemski, a great, nice story, but it's not cutting it. It's time to give some of these other guys a shot. It's time to give Will Rashad a little bit of a shot. Guys in that realm, it's time to give them a shot.
You might want to even think about doing the unthinkable and seeing what's the trade market out there for Steph Curry, because you're not a championship team right now. If I'm in the boat of we have to look forward always, no matter. Obviously, Steph Curry is a guy who, when you think Golden State Warriors basketball, he's going to be the number one guy forever.
Like, get something out of him. Like, go to Steph and say, do you want to try to win, or you just want to hang out? You can't let him go, or else the fans will kill you. Or do you let him go and you get something for him and you try to start over?
Right.
I think the fans would probably. I think Steph's got to be a lifer. He's like Derek Jeter. Like, if you get rid of him, I think they'll try to.
Yeah, it was like Kobe Bryant with the Lakers. They signed him to his last contract. He wasn't a great player anymore at that point, but they did it because he was Kobe Bryant and all the things that he did before that. So that's why you do that.
Well, Steph should stay, but then you owe it to Steph to go try to win. I mean,
right.
I mean, like, I hate to say it. Did they re-sign Al Horford?
They did.
Yeah, see, that would have been a perfect guy for the Sixers.
They did.
I love
The
Al Horford, but come on, bro. It's time
Yeah.
to stop.
Well, he was once a very good player, Al Horford, for sure.
Love him. Love
Yeah.
him to death. He makes the all very good team. I mean, like, like, all they've done is double down on guys who want to shoot all jump shots. Nobody getting to the rack. I mean, look at this team. And then Butler goes there, and you think you finally got a guy that attacks the rack, but then you forget to look and see that he plays 50 games. That's why Pat Riley told him to
Well,
go.
Mike Dunleavy, former Duke guy, Uncle Dave, as the GM, maybe it's not working out. Well, the former
No.
Duke guys as GMs, Billy King. I know you said he
Oh
had
my
naked.
God.
He had naked photos forever. I mean, the 76ers GM and the Nets GM. My God, was that some bad GMing?
One of the best defenders of all time, but let me tell you, that's one of the worst GMs in the history. Dallas Maverick guy giving him a run for the money, though.
Right, right. What do you make of James Harden? So he winds up declining his player option. Now they're trying to work out a longer term deal, but I don't see it happening with James Harden for much longer. I mean, we talked about it.
Who wants to keep him anyway? If you're the Cavs, what are you doing?
We talked about his weight is definitely an issue for him.
Jesus, he's at the club eating chicken wings.
Yeah, I know. He's at the strip club, like you said, having wings all night. I think that, I don't know. I think the Cavaliers, with getting rid of DeAndre Hunter and Darius Garland, that wound up being we talked about it, that was long term going to be a bad deal.
But look, think about what the owner thinks, though. Think about this now. From a business standpoint, they made money.
Right. Analytically, they're winning.
No, but from a business standpoint, they got to the Eastern Conference Finals. But here's the scary part. You got the Eastern Conference Finals, but I bet you a dozen donuts you ain't getting back there next year.
No way. No way. If this Kawhi Leonard deal goes through, because right now with the Clippers that it's pending because of the salary cap tampering, but so let's say Kawhi Leonard winds up going to the Raptors. I think the Raptors next year are a better team than you.
Sure. And Indiana's going to be tough because they're not going anywhere.
Right.
Indiana's not. He's going to get them to play hard. Rick is different. But yeah, I just don't understand some of these. I think the Dallas GM is the worst GM in the sport right now. I just don't know what's going on there. And it's not even the guy who gave away Luka. I wasn't totally against the Luka thing. If the guy's not going to take care of his body, I'm not giving him 70 either. I get that. I wouldn't have done it for Anthony Davis, however. I would have gotten something else. And then if I'm going to do it for Davis, I got to make sure he's healthy, and I got to re-sign him so I can get something out of him. But they already have so many bigs. I would have done it for Reeves. How about if you got Luka for Reeves?
I think Dallas is just maybe reserved to the fact that, you know what, we're in a really tough conference and we're not going to win a ton of games anyway, so let it just be what it is.
Yeah, but then what happens, though? This guy gets a 4-year deal, Cooper Flag. If you suck for 4 years and your GM is obviously this bad, after 4 years, is he staying?
No, probably not.
Shit, I'm not doing that. I'm not staying. I mean, it's a great city, but I'm not staying.
You might have a situation where you left at the altar like LeBron did with the Cavaliers, and you go to the
I'm like, I'm out. I'm like, you ain't helped me out. I'm out. Plus, the West ain't gonna get much easier.
You have Zach LaVine's re-signing with the Kings, Darius Akoff with the Kings. Franchises that are in disarray. The Kings, I think, might be at the top of the hill with that.
I feel bad for my man Darius Akoff. I mean, he did shoot the ball a hell of a lot.
Yeah, he's not shy. He's definitely
not shy. Like, he's a killer. But he does compete, so he will have some nights where he might lead the league in missed field goal attempts this year. I think he'll be one of those guys, right. Just like John Wall had many 10 turnover games, but but you could still see how great he was. It just takes time with some guys because you got to let him be. When you coach a guy, sometimes you got to let the risk reward go because you know the end of the risk better. And Darius Akoff is one of those guys. So I just don't understand some of the rosters in this league. I just having a hard time with some.
I think we agree. There's Sam Presti, then there's everybody else. That's basically what we got.
Well, obviously, after Brad Stevens said and brain fart, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Then again, the Knicks did a hell of a job. I don't like losing Hawk, Porty, and Robinson, obviously, but you got to.
But they do re-sign Jose Alvarado, and they get Jordan Clarkson back.
Yes.
So those are two good re-signings.
I was surprised that Robinson wanted to leave. I know they doubled his salary. So I guess that's a good reason for anybody. And he's been with the Knicks for 8 years. I was really surprised. I just want to say to the Knicks fans that to be careful because your run was not, you did win the NBA championship, but your run was like magically crazy. So like next year when you're like perform like regular humans and you have to struggle 2-2 in a first round series, a 2-2 in a second round series. Don't rip them. That's normal stuff. It's like that run was 9 playoff road wins in a row is insane. I've never seen that in my life. But like to perform at that level is not normal. It's a special run. So next year, when you do normal things and you could still get to the finals, to get on a run like that, it just rarely happens.
Plus, a guy like Jalen Brunson, he's also had a history of having the injury bug, so he basically avoided that. And it looked like, remember, I think it was game 1 or game 2 where it looked like he had an ankle problem or a
Sure.
knee problem, so that was scary. But
That's what they got to do with Alvarado now in the regular season. You got to get Jalen down to like 36 minutes
I
a
think you're
night.
gonna have to play Tyler Kolek more too, as well.
Tyler Kolek is a good player. People laugh. Tyler Kolek this year looked like he belonged in the NBA's first year when he got in. He really struggled. But, just don't ride these guys when they get off to an 8-4 start and people think that's not good enough. They're not going to start out on a magical run. You have to go back to the day one, just like everybody else. And
I don't know if you saw what I posted. I'm like, the Knicks could go 0-82, and Knicks fans will still be saying Knicks in 5.
well, the New York fans are tough. I mean, as the old guy who used to play for the Pittsburgh Pirates, who used to announce the Mets games, Ralph Kiner used to say, "You're never as bad as your worst day. You're never as
Right.
good as your best day."
So true. So
And
true.
the answer is always in between. And he used to always explain it this way. He'd say, well, in baseball, there's 162 games. Almost about 95% of the teams in history have at least won 54 or more games. And about 98% of the teams have lost 54 or more games. So they're really, those 108 games, you're going to be 54 and 54. It's what you do with the middle 54 that matter. And it just goes to show you how hard it is to win and how that you're never as good as you think you are and you're never as bad as you think you are.
I think, yeah, I agree with you.
And he used to break it down mathematically, just like that, because most teams do win more than 54 games, or else you'd have 108 losses. And most teams do lose more than 54 games, or you'd have 108 wins. And those things do not happen too often. It's happened maybe 10 times in my lifetime, each of those. So the thing is, obviously, it is those middle 54 games, which shows you that it is more close and tight and competitive than people realize. And it's the same in the NBA now because these seeds are not meaning anything. Next year, I'm definitely going to do a mathematical breakdown right after college is over of seeds from the last 40 years of like 1s versus 8s. And you watch the trend in 2s and 7s and 3s and 6s. It's changed dramatically. It doesn't even matter anymore at all with the rest and the strategy and how the game is played now. These seeds mean nothing.
And like you said, you're seeing teams like the Nuggets. They just conceded, like, hey, we're okay with being the 3 seed. We're not going to fight to get a number 2 seed. We're not going to be trying to break our back over that. Teams are
Right.
perfectly fine. And we also talked about it too on one of our shows with while the NBA playoffs were going on, that it seemed like unusually so this year that road teams were winning a lot of games. It didn't
Oh
matter.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, well, and again, like it just goes to show you, like you could go back and you could put on one hand, find out 8s beat 1s, but now it's they're closer. 2s and 7s were rare, 1s and 8s were rare. Now with 2s and 7s, it's happened a lot, and now the opposite's going to happen in college this year. Not a lot of upsets again, because the money is entered into the bid, the NIL and everything else is entered in. So that's going to go away, and in the NBA, it's getting more like that. So it's kind of an interesting dichotomy there, because in the NBA, you can see 7s and 2s doesn't even matter anymore. But in college, hey, the 15 ain't beating the 2 anymore. It's just not happening, because the money of the 2 is just, they got a $20 million roster and the other guy's got a $500,000 roster, and that's not happening.
That's one of our ongoing themes on this show, is that with college basketball, that dynamic.
So like if you're really good at, if you go to Stony Brook this year, my beloved Seawolves, and you average 16 a game and you're a junior and University of Miami comes knocking
Yeah, you're
and
leaving.
says we'll give you 500,000 to come off the bench for us.
Well, look at what happened with Hofstra with Preston Edmeade. Goes to NC State.
NC State. So you can't blame the kids. I wish we could somehow find a way where we can't contact players during the season. It feels really wrong. It's just everything that as a coach, like, I don't know, as a coach, it's so hard. You're trying to
It's
build.
so disheartening because you look at, let's see, like Brad Stevens when he was in Butler, when he found guys like Gordon Hayward and he found guys like Howard. Those are guys now they would get poached now. Sheldon Mack,
Yep.
those guys would completely get offered now by a Duke or a Carolina.
Sheldon Mack was so good. Sheldon Mack's one of the best college players who ever lived. That guy was tough.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That
they'd be gone.
that Butler team though, that would be completely plucked apart like a carcass with a vulture. That would be totally dismantled.
Just look at it. I mean, Stony Brook's best player 2 years ago wound up going to college at Charleston in his own league. Like, what are we doing?
That's really spitting in the face, right?
Look at St. John's. St. John's the last 2 years has taken Seton Hall's best kid. What is coach supposed to do with Seton Hall? He's one of the best coaches in the country. What is he supposed to do?
Yeah, Coach Holloway. Yeah.
Last year, he gets off to a great start. They're like 5-1 in the Big East, and everybody's like, I don't know how they're doing it, and I didn't either. And then they come back down to earth, and they go, what the hell happened to Seton Hall? They already bought their players.
Like you said, they're overachieving.
Oh my God! It's like the Belichick 14-2 teams that sucked.
Right. We talked about it with Coach K too, with the Mick Roberts and Greg Paulus era.
Oh my God! Greg Paulus playing the point who can't get away from anybody. You're 27-6.
Right. And Josh McRoberts and DeMarcus Nelson.
And you get destroyed by Lehigh, and everybody goes, "What's wrong?" Well, Lehigh's got the best player on the floor tonight.
Yeah. That was against the Austin River years. Yeah. Wanted to talk about the Lakers, Uncle Dave. What do you make of the situation there? And so now you're done with the LeBron era. And you signed Austin Reeves to a max contract. Now you've added some guys like Colin Sexton, Kevon Looney, Matisse Thybulle. You have Jared Vanderbilt still. Walker Kessler you signed. You also now have Quentin Grimes. What do you make of this new Lakers era that we're about to approach with Luka Doncic now being the sole guy now with Austin Reeves?
I know everybody's going to laugh at me, but I don't know how you let Rudy Hachimura go. This guy finally became who he should have been. You let him walk out.
Right, Clippers got him.
What are you doing? This is the one guy who's athletic enough on the perimeter at the 4 or the 3.5 who could maybe help you.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing letting this guy get out the door? All right, Grimes, I like it. Walker Kessler for that kind of Kessler?
That money is ridiculous, right?
So you're telling me he's better than DeAndre Ayton for that money?
No way.
Not even close. DeAndre Ayton got you 12-8 and never touched the ball.
Yeah. I mean, is Walker Kessler George Mikan now?
Yeah, man, what the hell are we doing? Dalton Connect was a player that pick just blew up in their face. Kevon Looney, love it. He's only 30 years old. People forget that.
Yeah, he's young.
He's rugged. I love him. Austin Reeves and Luka covering together. You got to get something out of Colin Sexton. That's the key. If Colin Sexton is motivated, this is the guy that can play the point.
He's been forgotten about, but he's a guy, again, kind of like a Darius Garland. He's a guy who can get it going, though, offensively.
And Vanderbilt is so talented, but Jesus, God, he's stealing money. But I think the key to that team is Sexton, because Sexton's a guy that you could make Luka more efficient and get him and, Reeves and just, Colin Sexton can get to the rack. People forget he's big, 6'3", 190. He's pretty strong kid.
Right.
There's some players there. I mean,
Jake LaRabia, you just think it's a guy, you don't think that's moving the needle for them any bit?
Yeah, Cameron, who's also dangerous. Cameron Carr from Baylor he's going to be all right. That's a kid that he was in a draft. He's going to be all right. You got to watch him. He's a guy that I think will help you. And again, got to get something out of Vanderbilt. But I think Isaiah Williams, that's I don't know. It's just so much,
It's going to be interesting, the dynamic with Coach Reddick, because now I think he's probably got more power now.
I have to say, he did a great job. He changed the whole game plan once Luka got hurt. Luka's got to stay healthy. I thought he got in good shape, but I guess maybe he plays better heavy. Maybe some guys do. I mean, I don't know what to say. But Walker Kessler for that money. I mean, good God.
Yeah.
You could have went and got Mark Williams out of Charlotte or, somebody like that, and then go get another player with that money.
Well, you've always talked about it. Just because you pay a guy an exorbitant amount of money, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden
I pay you $80 doesn't mean you're $80 worth.
Right.
Bobby Bonilla for the Mets.
And I like Walker Kessler. I think he's a nice player, but for that money, like you said,
player, but Jesus Christ, what's he ever done?
Right.
I mean, good. Here's the problem too. They missed on a couple of picks. I mean, Dalton Connect. I like him, but Jesus, it just hasn't happened yet. And they should never have let go of Luke Kennard either. So you hold on to Bronny James and you let go of Luke Kennard.
I don't know what's Bronny James' future.
When Luka and Reeves need someone to kick to, you don't want them kicking it to Kennard if you're an opponent because he ain't missing. And he's also one of the best passers in the NBA.
But do you think that this is now an attractive team moving forward, going for free agents?
They'll be attractive. They got the star quality.
I think they're going to be a fascinating watch, though, with Luka
Oh,
Doncic
sure.
now.
They're gonna make money. One of the interesting draft picks of the year. Speaking, well, we haven't talked about this team yet at all. I think the Lakers will be exciting because they're the Lakers. You know me and the purple and gold. I love that.
Yep.
But I just think they'll make money, but I don't know if they'll be any good. Detroit got the pick from OKC of Ibuka Okore from Stanford. You ever see that kid play this year at the point?
Yes.
Oh boy. Now, let me tell you something. Detroit didn't really have a point guard. This kid is lightning. Now, he is not 6'2". They're lying through their teeth. He's about 5'11".
Going to help, though, with Cade Cunningham, though, for sure.
Exactly. And this kid can go. He's one of those guys. He got picked late. I'm like, you guys are crazy. How'd you pick this guy late? 17th overall selection. This kid could go, man.
Well, we talked about the depth of this draft, that was going to be an option for teams in the middle of the draft. Yeah,
I was hoping OKC would have held on to him because he'd been a perfect backup for Shea. But they couldn't. 17th overall pick, obviously, and traded to the Detroit Pistons. But, oh, man, I tell you, he would have been perfect. He would have been perfect for the Thunder. But you know what? I don't want to help the Thunder. They're already really loaded. But I don't know. It's NBA is going to be fascinating. It really is. We're so lucky because, and even though there's so many problems with the game, as far as like the procedure of the game itself is still beautiful. There are too many threes shot by the Celtics and stuff like that. But my point is, even though college, it's hard to build a team, that when you watch the game, it's still so invigorating. The NBA regular season can be tough. About half the nights are tough. The other half are not. But it's still invigorating to watch the game and the way these teams play it, especially when it means something. So, like, you get suckered back in. And even, the level of high school basketball out here in Suffolk County obviously is very low these days compared to what it was, but it's still exciting. Not exciting in a sense of quality versus the old days, but it is still exciting. The game itself and the mental part of the game and the coaching and things of that nature are exciting. But I have to tell you, the Lakers will definitely be interesting. I like the Quentin Grimes move a lot. I think he's a player. I know nobody else does, but I like him. I think he's a guy that can do some things for you. I know he's going to say I'm crazy on the show here, but you got to get the ball out of Luka's hands a little more. Make it easier for him.
Well, I remember Tim Hardaway Sr. talking about it when his son played with Luka Doncic on the Mavericks, that when he was not playing, the ball did move better. So that's kind of a complaint when Luka Doncic is.
Oh, it does move.
It kind of sticks to him a little too long. So that's why I asked you the question with free agents wanting to come and maybe trade partners, that playing with him, I wonder, is that something that could maybe be a problem down the line? Now, obviously, I think it's because it's the Lakers. You're going to always have an attraction for free agents and potential trade suitors for that reason alone, but it's going to be really fascinating to see.
Well, he's a high usage guy. He's probably the highest usage guy in the league. I mean, I didn't look recently, but when you watch him with the naked eye, I mean, I've never seen a guy have the ball that much.
Because the honeymoon phase is over with him now. I think he's at the point now where every year you don't win, I think you're going to be kind of dragged through the coals.
Well, plus now it's his team for sure. And you should have signed and traded Reeves because you got two guys that can't cover, and all you're going to do is swing it until you get the matchup you want. So, like, what do? They win 50 games, they get the 6th seed, and then you got to go play the 3 who's like, all right, maybe the Nuggets they can match up with because the Nuggets are a little slower foot themselves. But if you have to go play the Timberwolves, say the Timberwolves get the 3 with that defensive machine they got over there, you're dead. Then now what do you do? Although the T-Wolves have some transition without Randall, it's going to be some gaps there too.
Well, speaking of Minnesota, with LaMelo Ball now, with Anthony Edwards.
I just hope that LaMelo Ball doesn't influence him in a bad way because I love Edwards.
How do you foresee that going? Is LaMelo Ball, you think, and him going to split the usage?
I worry about I just worry about him not knowing who Anthony Edwards is.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes you got to know, like, let me let this guy eat.
Right.
And like LaMelo could really help him because when they cheat off of Ant, like he could slash and get to the rack easily because the spacing is going to be good to his side. So like if you could tilt the floor when Edwards has the ball, the whole freaking gym has to tilt.
Absolutely,
so if he does a Laker cut like we used to do when he Magic would throw it to Kareem and cut through, like I hate to sound that basic, but it really is that basic. And LaMelo's athletic enough where he can finish at the rim.
It's going to be interesting with him because it's not a situation like it is in Charlotte when he was there, where it's like, all right, you're just the fun guy dribbling around and shooting crazy shots and scoring points, but not shooting a good field goal percentage. And it didn't matter if you were winning games
No,
or
the
not.
Wolves are hungry. The
Now
Wolves are a hungry team.
there's absolutely expectations with this group now for next season. So it's going to be.
The Wolves are a hungry team. I think this will be good. The Wolves have a sense that they could do some things, and I think they're on the cusp. They got some weird problems with Gobert offensively, but obviously defensively, he's worth so much. But they're a weird team, but they always overachieve.
Yeah, I think it was the right move for them. Plus, you'll get Dante DiVincenzo back, hopefully off the torn Achilles next season. But I like guys like Terrence Shannon, and you have Jaden McDaniels. I think you're going to be really fun, I think, next year. And plus,
I just hate losing Randall. I'm a guy that likes Randall. I know nobody else does, but I like Randall. I think he serves a purpose.
Well, with the Brooklyn Nets situation, I think he'll have a chance there to shine pretty good, I think. So he'll.
This is where, though, you're going to see if this kid Brown doesn't play.
Mikal Brown.
This is where, and here's the thing.
The Nets' first-round draft pick.
I watched Mikal Brown twice in person last year. You cannot speed him up. He's ultimately talented, uber talented. I mean, you cannot speed him up. I watch teams do everything to him in the pick and rolls and get on the high side. You cannot get him off balance. That's how good he is. But sometimes the motor doesn't motor. And that's where you chose him over Acuff. Now, I don't know, man. I've been coaching a long time. Yeah, 38 coming up. I'll take the motor.
Well, that's the worry with Darren Peterson with the Jazz is the.
Oh, my God. I know he's 3 inches bigger than Acuff, but Acuff is a murderer.
I thought we'd end on this, Uncle Dave. Kyle Lowry calling it a career.
Yeah, very overachieving player. In our family, we have some Villanova fans. Kyle Lowry wasn't even a thought, really coming out of college in a lot of ways.
Who would have thought he would have had a 20-year career? 6 foot.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. And Brunson's even better. There's both guys that came from a system where the system was executed, and so you might have had to sacrifice some numbers. But Jay Wright has afforded himself well in this NBA. His guys have been, it's like Tony Bennett's guys there. They always get picked because they know how to play. Now, Jaylen is having a great year, but Kyle Lowry was the first one to really do it. People forget.
6 foot with maybe a bump on his head.
Yep, and they had some really good guards back then. They had, didn't they have Nardi?
Scotty Reynolds,
and this guy was better. It ended up being better than all of them. That's kind of crazy. And then Jaylen being better than all of them. So I mean, it's really good. It's a great career. He should be proud of himself. I think a guy like him would be a great
coach, great
GM or coach or analyst. I think he understands the game so much that I think whatever he did, he'd be good at because he understands the game.
I mean,
and he respects the game.
That's the thing. For this guy to have a 20-year career at 6 foot is just unbelievable. I mean, you got to give him credit.
And he's stout. This is not a jet like Allen Iverson.
Right.
This is not a guy who's lightning quick.
And that's the thing. Like you said, he's not the guy that physically is a blur. He's not a Russell
Westbrook. Van Vliet. He's a lot like Van Vliet.
Right.
Just guys that just grind it.
Right. He's a guy who's kind of more, like you said, more stout, not ultra lightning quick. So for him to stick around for 20 years is just absolutely incredible.
Tribute to him. It's a tribute to him. He's one of those guys that you got to be really proud of. But at the same time, like, you just feel bad to see a guy like that go because there's not many pros left sometimes. And he's a guy that he worked hard, man. I love guys like that. And we don't have a lot of guys like that in our game anymore.
You had him. He started out his career with the Grizzlies and then the Rockets. But, I mean, his stretch in Toronto, Vince Carter probably is the guy who people would say is the face of their franchise historically. But Kyle Lowry, though, is extremely beloved. Him and DeMar DeRozan definitely had quite an impact there. And he was the point guard for them when they won their championship in 2019. So he won an NBA title.
And Toronto's got the big problem with the tax situation up there. That's how they lost McGrady and Vince Carter. How do you have those two guys who are cousins not keep those two guys? I'm not letting them out the door. They went to a game 7, they lose, and you let them get out the door. You don't let that happen.
No.
Did Mike and Scotty get out the door? No. You could have had Mike and Scotty too right there. Maybe not as good, but you don't let them get out the door. You just don't.
For the finals, Uncle Dave, against the Warriors, he averaged 16 and 7 in that series. So he was.
Yeah, well, I have to say, I've never seen the finals more impacted by injury than that one.
Yeah, Kevin Durant went down. Yeah.
That Durant, Clay, I mean, Jesus God, I mean, he couldn't get a break. They were playing against Steph Curry by himself after a while.
Right. Yeah.
But at the same time, they earned it. You got to give them credit. It's not their fault. They only play who's in front of them.
Yep.
But like I said, I'm just really frustrated by some of the GMing going on right now. I feel like I missed my calling here. Some of these guys, I just don't get it. Like, it's not that hard to look at a player and see what they could be and see what their background is and see what kind of work ethic they have. A lot of shitty GMing going on out there right now. I think we got too many freaking tool bags out there.
What do you make of, before we sign off, what do you make of the Hornets offseason? They move off LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges. So do you like what they re-signed Colby White? So you like what they've done?
Colby White is an underrated point guard. I said at the time that he would I said to a lot of people, I thought he could have as good or as better a career than Zion Williamson had, and I was laughed at. And I'm a Duke guy.
I'm sure you were, yeah.
But Colby White has a motor. He's a big point guard. He's a strong point guard, and everybody thought that Cole Anthony would be better than Colby White. Not a chance. Colby White's a real deal. I think that's a great pickup. I think that Ball didn't like the fact that it was Knipple and Miller's team. Right. I don't think he liked that.
You talked about it, Brandon Miller and Knipple. You have to kind of give the reins to them, I think.
I think you do, but now the Hornets need to go just make sure that they're big enough. They've got the big enough roster. They as far as the size and depth. They struggled in the playoffs. You saw that Knipple had some was definitely
getting
guarded
his own shot. Yeah.
Definitely guarded differently. Again, big difference between the regular season. They got Grayson Allen.
Oh, yeah.
Grayson Allen's there. I didn't think they used some guys off that bench like Connaughton a little bit. I would like to have seen a guy like that who can help. You got to get something out of some of these long guys like Mo Gee. You got to get something out of these guys. Trey Mann.
Well, they added Naz Reid too.
Naz Reid, I love Naz Reid. But they got to get some. And who had a great summer league was the kid's Haynes Steinbach from Washington.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the best players in that summer league. That's the big guy they need. He's 6'10", but he can play. He's got really good hands.
He led the country in rebounding.
Exactly, but he's a beast. So, and the kid Kalkrunner had a good year from Creighton. They have some pieces here. And PJ Hall is a tough guy. They've got a lot of bangers.
Yeah.
If they can just get that mentality to be a little bit better on the defensive end of the floor, this team could take off.
I think if they make the playoffs next year, that would be a huge win for them if they're able to do that again.
Oh, I think they should. I mean, I think they made it this year. They got to move up and win 50 games this year. It's time.
Yeah.
I think they're good enough. Now, at the point, Colby White is going to be the guy. I think that's the guy,
Yeah.
That's the guy you got. He can do it for you.
And then Zion James can come off the bench for you.
Yeah, I mean, this kid's a player. I think he's going to be fine. I really do. I think Colby White will get it done. Last year, 17 points a game, 4 assists. I'd like to see that number of assists get up there, though.
Mm-hmm.
You'd like to see that change over the years. So you got to make him a little bit more of a point. But at the same time, he played with Chicago last year for a while, and then came over to the Hornets for a little while. But he is a guy that,
the play-in game against the Magic, he had an absolutely amazing game. It was memorable, his performance that night.
Yeah, right now, he only played 19 minutes on average for the Hornets when he came over. You got to commit to him, give him 35 minutes a night, and you'd like to see that assist total go up to 7 or 8 assists a night.
I think he'll have the opportunity to do that with the wings that he has.
With Ball being gone, and that's what you got to do. I mean, there's enough there now. There's so much depth on this team. They really have 9 or 10 guys that can play every night. This is the way the league is going. And if Brandon Miller and Knipple stay healthy, which are the two horses, I think you'll be fine. I really do. I mean, this is going to be a fun team. I would definitely love to play with these guys. This could be
Absolutely.
fun. So I don't know. It should be a good situation. Grayson Allen's got to give him something. He's 30 years old now. I mean, there's plenty of guys out there on this team. I mean, like I said, there's some athletic guys. There's some beast guys like PJ Hall's the kid from Creighton, Kalkrunner, is really tough. You just got to get something. Liam McNeely, we'll see what he does from UConn. Second year, we'll see how he does. But Brandon Miller is the real deal. I'm so happy for that kid because he had a tough situation there for a while.
Yeah, with Alabama, yeah.
Naz Reid is going to help a lot, though, because I know they list Naz as a center, but really he's like a 4.
No, he's not. He's not that kind of guy. He's not a center.
You could go small with this guy, and Naz Reid is tough. I mean, this guy is he might be the best, ugliest player in the freaking league. Like when you watch him play, you go, How could this guy be any good?
Yeah, there's nothing beautiful, right,
Watch.
going on.
He
Yeah.
goes 13 points a game. You're like, what the hell is he doing? Like, you're like, how is this guy any good?
Right.
And then he gets 2 assists, a couple of blocks.
You know what? He's just quick enough. He's just a good enough shooter. He's just enough of everything where he can give you that production.
Awkward. And he can defend. So you're sitting there going, what the hell is going on with this guy? Like, when I watch, that's like the whole Wolves team, though, with the exception for Edwards. You watch them and you go, I'm going to throw up.
Right.
And at the end of the game, you're like, oh, they're good. It's
Right.
like Randall. Randall was the same way. It's a whole bunch of these guys running around out there who, like,
Yeah, Jaden
they're
McDaniel.
limited. But they're good players. I love Jaden McDaniels. Oh my God, he's so good. He's I mean, they're going to be tough. The Hornets, I'm looking forward to. I like to see some good games out of them. I like to see them get to that 50 win total. Of course, health dictates.
Of course,
everything.
yeah, that pending, yeah.
I'd like to see them get to that 7, to that 6 or above. That way, they don't have to get caught in the play-in.
Coach Charles Lee, I think, definitely has a good situation on his hands. I think the Hornets will be like you said, a fun and coachable group. I think it's.
Well, the best part too is that they were so bad for so long. They missed on some draft picks like Gilchrist and kids over the years, and the kid from Connecticut.
Yeah, it was the first time last year they made the postseason in 10 years.
Yeah, the kid from Connecticut they missed on. They missed on Kid Gilchrist, who I thought would be good too. The kid from Connecticut was such a disappointment. I can't remember his name anymore. It's such a disappointment. He was a light-skinned kid a couple of years back, and oh Jesus, I can't remember his name. Definitely had a different name, but he just didn't get it done.
Not light skinned, but Dwayne Bacon. You're not thinking of him.
Yeah, no, it's not him. This is a light skinned kid.
James Bouknight. That's who you're thinking of, Uncle Dave.
Yeah, James Bouknight. Yeah, I remember his name. Is a guy that should have been good. And is he still in the league?
No, he's been out of the league since 2023-24.
Yeah, didn't make it. Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
What did he get drafted in 2020?
2021.
Wow, he got out quick. He didn't even get to finish his rookie deal. Holy crap.
79 games in 3 seasons.
Wow. That means he's a dog. All right. Wow.
11th overall pick to give up on a guy that quickly, man, that's a lottery pick. Yeah, that's
when you miss on those guys, it hurts. That's what
that sets your franchise back, I feel like, when that happens.
Now, wait. That's why I can't believe the Lakers, after Rudy Hachimura finally got it done, you let this guy walk. In the playoffs, he was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was great for them, yeah. He was hitting big shots, yeah.
Did he pig out and want too much money? I guess maybe he
You want to talk about, I mean, his ability to catch and shoot, and then how many times did you see him in the postseason pump fake one dribble in, and he was hitting those shots all the time.
Plus, he's 6'8", and he's built like a man.
He is, yeah.
And he can play that 3.5, 4.
Right.
Oh my God, he finally come into his own. These guys let him get out the door. I don't get it.
Yep, the Clippers now.
Oh, the Clippers sneaky building over there.
Yeah, well, Keaton Wagler now. It's his.
Oh boy, where do you see him? Oh my
goodness, he's a
good.
Cadillac, I think potentially. People, Jay Billis said he might be the next Halliburton, and I definitely see that.
He's just got to gain a little weight. That's all he needs. He's just got to eat some pasta and some meatballs.
Right,
he'll be fine.
Get him hooked up. Yeah,
send his ass to Chick-fil-A or something. Because he's special. Because his length is nuts, and he's not done growing yet. He could be like a Sean Livingston.
Yeah, he could be.
He could be one of those guys. Livingston was that talented, and Livingston was 6'7". So this kid is not there yet, but you could tell this kid's still growing. So it's going to be a fun year. It's going to be a fun year, but we got so much more to do before then.
Of course, yeah. Then college basketball too.
See if Bradley Beal where he winds up. I think that
we've mentioned this too. What the hell are the Pelicans doing retaining Zion Williamson? Trade his ass.
I don't know.
Move on. I want to talk about bad GMing. What are you doing?
Can you imagine? Think about this. Can you imagine if the Nets went and got Zion Williamson?
Yeah, it would be fun.
The building would be full every night.
Right, absolutely.
What are the Nets doing? What are the Nets doing? I like the fact that all right, Brown's a good player, and you got Randall. I give you that, but you have to sell tickets.
Yeah, so you're competing especially with the Knicks now, with the toast of the town with winning a championship.
The Nets arena is beautiful. Go get Zion and fill the place up. You can work from there. I mean, Jesus Lord. If you had Zion and Brown and some of the other pieces that they have,
Michael Porter,
you could maybe get to 35, 40 wins and you have a shot. Go fill the building. Zion will be reborn. He's in fucking Brooklyn eating pizza and shit. Let's go. Come on. These guys don't get it sometimes. I don't know what they're thinking, man. If you're going to suck, you got to keep your owner happy and make some money. All right? You get Zion in that building. Brooklyn's full every night. So you got to do one or the other. You really need to do both. But you got to do one or the other. Now, the Mavericks are lucky. People will show up for Cooper Flag. But if you're these other, like the Lakers, all right, they're going to be good and they'll sell out. But they're not winning a title with that freaking team. But they don't give a shit. They're going to win. They don't care. They're selling out every night.
Absolutely.
Knicks are selling out every night for 10 years straight now. The Spurs are going to be good for 10 years now. The Knicks will be selling out forever because people remember this title because it was so special. The Sixers will be selling out every night, and they were not drawing that well.
Yeah, I mean they're going to be on every national TV game this.
Yeah, great. Season. I hope it's Knicks Sixers first night.
The Thunder definitely. I mean, what they did in the draft with adding Mara from Michigan, I think that.
Well, Celtics Sixers first night. Let's do that.
The NBA definitely, LeBron moving off of the Lakers and going there, it's going to be fun.
And I've said this I argue with people all the time about why basketball players. I always say that the teams are better in the past only for one reason. I think the top players today are as good as the top players in any era, but the average player today is not.
Yeah, it's better. It's more skilled. It's more skilled. Yeah, absolutely.
The average player today is not as good as the average player was back then. So what I mean is today you got these 19-year-old kids who come out of college weighing $150, and 15 years ago you got a third-year guy coming out of college who's a man. Yeah. And like look at the average age of the league now. It's besides LeBron and Steph. I mean, it's a young league. It's really young, and guys give up on you quick now, which is great. And that's because of the G League, and I think the G League is a great thing.
That's why it took Kobe Bryant like 3 seasons before he got really good because of
he was a
kid at The Last Dance. He's like, you're 18 going up against men.
Right. Now you're not.
Yeah.
So like when LeBron drives down a lane, even at 41, he's got 20-year-olds. They can't keep him in front. They bounce off him.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
He's a man.
Like Tim Duncan, when he came in the NBA, he was averaging 25 immediately. He was just that
man.
Good. Yeah.
Grant Hill was a man.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. It's like very few guys have that body as a freshman. Stephon Marbury had it, but the rest of them did not.
We shall conclude there. Folks, live long and prosper. May the force be with you.